All right, I don't know if this is going to work, but I'm going to give it a try because I got this idea. So I'm going to share with you a passage of text from a book called The Body, Self-Cultivation, and Ki Energy by YUASA Yasuo, translated from the Japanese by Shigenori Nagatomo and Monte S. Hall. This is put out by SUNY University Press. I will put this in the text that accompanies the video. You can find all the information. I'm just going to read you a passage that struck me, I don't know, several years ago when I first read it as being interesting for stuff I was thinking about. And then we're going to do some practice and we'll see what happens. So this is from page 64 of the text. I'm going to begin right in the middle. I'm not going to say much, but it's like 3 sentences in where I really am kind of most interested. So it begins, the part I'm going to read to you. On the other hand, theory and practice are not distinguished in the Eastern model. There is a strong tendency to formulate theoretical constructs following practical experience. To put this in the context of the mind-body relationship, a theoretical viewpoint is formulated by investigating the cases of persons who have acquired the experience and supernormal capacity which an average person cannot imitate. For example, the experience of body-mind oneness or casting off body and mind is available only to those who've spent a long time training and cultivating their mind-body. And using this experience as a standard, the mind-body relationship is theorized. All right, I'm going to read that again, and then we're going to play. I'm not going to say anything about it. I'm just going to play. So on the other hand, theory and practice are not distinguished in the Eastern model. There is a strong tendency to formulate theoretical constructs following practical experience. To put this in the context of the mind-body relationship, a theoretical viewpoint is formulated by investigating the cases of persons who have acquired the experience and supernormal capacity which an average person cannot imitate. For example, the experience of body-mind oneness or casting off body and mind is available only to those who have spent a long time training and cultivating their mind-body. And using this experience as a standard, the mind-body relationship is theorized. All right, I'm going to put the book down and we're going to do a little bit of practice. And so we're just going to do a simple one I call stirring the bowl. So start in modified or kind of can be sloppy martial arts horse stance. Your right foot is forward if you're mirroring me. Your left foot is back at a 45-degree angle. Kind of sink your hips a little bit. Imagine there's a big bowl or cauldron in front of you. You're going to dip your hands in the cauldron and you're going to begin to stir. Just stirring this imaginary fluid. And if your right foot is forward and you're mirroring me, then when you look down at your hands, you're stirring so that your hands move in a clockwise motion. And you just begin stirring it. And the hips are going to move a little bit forward as you move from your left to your right with the hands, and the hips move back as you go the other way. Just stirring it up. And maybe it feels like you're really running your hands in this liquid and stirring it around, or maybe it just feels like you're moving your hands in circles, and either way for us right now is just fine. And maybe begin to let the feeling of the movement's initiation be at the wrists, like you're stirring with your wrists. And that the hands and the fingers are kind of flowing behind, almost dragging through the liquid as they stir. And then maybe let the elbows initiate the movement. And the wrists follow the elbows. And the fingers follow the wrists. And then maybe the shoulders initiate the movement. And the elbows are following the shoulders through space. And then the wrists are following the elbows. And the fingertips are flowing behind, stirring the elixir in the cauldron. And then if you want to go a little further, you might imagine you drop it down to the heart. So the space between your sternum And your upper back is initiating the movement. And your shoulders are following, just a moment behind, following the heart. And the elbows follow the shoulders, and the wrists follow the elbows, and the fingers follow the wrists. And then maybe if you want, you bring it down to your navel. Space behind the navel is initiating the movement, making horizontal circles in space, and then the heart follows the space behind your navel. And the shoulders follow the heart, the elbows follow the shoulders, and then the wrists, and the fingers as you stir in the cauldron. Or, if all that is a blur, just make like you're doing circles with your hands. Let's switch sides. So now if you mirror me, the left foot is forward, your right foot is back. And now as you look down at your own hands, it's like you're stirring counterclockwise. Shifting the hips forward and back with the stirring. Stirring with the fingers. And then the wrists. And move it up to the elbows. And the shoulders. And the heart. And then the navel. Stirring the elixir. And you can keep going, but I'm gonna let that go. I'm gonna lower the chi 3 times down to the head and navel. 1, turn the palms briefly toward the navel. 2, so the Lao Gong point, the center reach palms toward the navel. And then 3, and then at the end, hands gently over the navel. For this form, this is from Hunyuan Qigong, or a variation of that. Women will place the left, or in this form, the yin hand against the body, cover it with the right or yang hand. Men will do the reverse. The right or the yang hands against the body, cover it with the left or yin. Whichever way feels better, though, is just fine. You don't have to follow those rules. And you're ready, let that go. Look around you and pretend that nothing happened.